Hello everyone, this is Terry from Genkigamingtv, and we're here talking about Yokai Watch Y Academy Close Encounters with the In-Kind, Episode 8. Close Encounters of the In-Kind? Did you see a UFO? Or Into no Sogu Kimi wa Yuto Omita Ka? In this episode, we start off by seeing the student council basically kind of reviewing the YSP club. And they're basically measuring up the club to see if they would possibly be a potential threat. I believe they even referred to Junpei and like the rest of the club as kind of like an eyesore. But this all sets up a big chain of events that we'll get to here momentarily. But I want to take a moment here just to thank you all for your support and tell you guys that I appreciate each and every one of you. And just thanks again for helping the channel grow. I'll continue to do this because the show is amazing. We also, in the show, we see a nice little flashback. I'm going to say a nice little flashback, but we get to see the first encounter with the other kind, with the In-Kind. And for this, we are kind of exposed to, I believe it's Ranto Kirigakure's past, or Orochi's past. And apparently he had a family. I mean, everyone has a family in this series, even if we've not seen them. But we're exposed to his family's encounter with the other kind, or with what we assume to be a alien vessel. And after the student council reviews the YSP club, we get a really funny scene of Jiba Jinpei in a daikon radish costume. And basically the YSP club was invited to the chairman or principal's office about the Y circle. Instead of like a crop circle, there's a big Y circle, so they go there to explore it. But the student council is looking into it at the same time. And we're basically shown off a panel that makes you think about Dragon Balls, because it's like a panel with 7 openings, which is where 7 medals go. But Jiba Jinpei and Miraido really don't think about that. They just try to pull the door apart with brute force, but that fails. And we get a little bit more flashbacky land where we get to see Ranto's past a little bit. And I believe this is the scene that they're referencing, that his family was taken or abducted by aliens. I can't exactly remember because I don't have like a ton of screenshots from it, but there's 2 flashbacks that occur here. One showing him kind of reading and looking all adorable and kiddish on the floor, and then vaporized or abducted parents. But we are also, after everything happens and we receive our warning about aliens or about the other kind, we are then introduced to a new character, a new yokai, Goromi, who has emerged from the gigantic triangle in the center of the circle, of the Y circle. And he or she is a cute little neko with a gun. A yellow neko with a gun. Because who doesn't love that? And we get a explanation of the difference between a yokai and a onryo, but I'll be covering this in another video that should happen next week. It all depends on timing, but I'm going to aim for it to be out next week. I have another fun little American folklore video scheduled for next week as well. But I'm going to be focusing on trying to do the rest of the research for the Unreal video. There's a lot to it. But after a quick explanation of the difference and a quick cameo by King Inma, we are then instantly teleported outside of the Y Circle and are surrounded by the student council, who are all pointing guns at the YSP club. Why would the student council do this? It's because of Ranto's order. They must be eliminated. Could this all be a ploy to set up something later? Well, we don't exactly have time to think of this, as the in-kind Mothership shows up hovering above the Y Circle, threatening life as we know it. Threatening us so much that Ranto or Orochi is kind of in fear, and we get to see another side of Ranto Kiri. What is it again? Ranto Kirigakure. We get to see another look at him. And this is as he was a tiny bit younger. And the way this is all kind of laid out is kind of unique, because he's going to investigate the situation. And he's actually investigating this stuff in the past after everything that's happened to his family. He met up with an expert. But we don't have much time to think about this awesome flashback as black balls of death begin to plummet out of the mothership. And our YSP club gets ready to tango. Ranto warns them that this isn't gonna work, but they don't believe them, as gray aliens with red eyes and red claws emerge from the mothership. But can Go Benimaru, QB, Shishio, and Clock Lady get ready for battle? The aliens skillfully dodge all of their attacks and pummel them with shadow bullets. But we also, I just realized I forgot to capitalize on a cute moment. And that cute moment was when our lovely new yokai friend, Goromi, goes and wants to join Ranto's side, saying he's an Ike man. He's a pretty boy. I just thought it was hilarious how they tried to play this off. But I do kind of digress. We're getting back into the actual conflict, where Goromi and Junpei fuse together to become, is it Wild Boy? Is that the name of it? I have to actually double check. I believe it's Wild Boy. Okay, yeah, Wild Boy. So he has this big cowboy desperado theme. Neko Soldier. Neko McCree. Okay, that's bad. Don't hate me for that. But he looks like a cat desperado. Instead of being called Cactus Kid, we could call him Cactus Cat. And the design is a little bit reminiscent of if you took Ace from One Piece, fused him with a yellow cat, and then fused that with Sora from Kingdom Hearts. But he unloads a Desperado Blast, which is what I'm calling the move, because I am making a Digimon reference right there. Then all of the aliens begin to retreat, and then some of them fuse into this alien titan creature. And then a small gray alien, or a grayish white colored alien, appears on top of it, kind of like how some of the kaijus interacted in Power Rangers, where you would have potentially a smaller one controlling a bigger one. But sadly, we transition into Flashback Itoria again, where Ranto's little sister is abducted and he is met with a disgusting, menacing gray alien. But it's not the end of the world as we transition to another flashback where, well, transition out of the flashback and are met by the lovely Inra Natsuki. And we are introduced to Kamen Rider Miss Shadow. I'm kidding. But he looks like a Kamen Rider or a Beetleborg. I'm sorry. Guys, I just realized I've referenced 3 shows and like a game in this review. It's great to be a reviewer. You get to do tons of fun stuff like that. But on to the plot. Miss Shadow is the transformation of Ranto. And Ranto uses, I believe it's called the Alien Watch. I want to go to Ranto Kirigakure's profile. Yeah, the Alien Watch. So we now have this all set up. We have a interesting situation emerging with this. And we don't have time to think about the interesting situation as we transition back to a flashback where we meet a elementary school student that is a genius. I think it's Kumoeke Kumako-chan. Or Kumayo-chan. I can't exactly tell because of the screenshot I took. Because they did the yellowish orange and the pink kind of don't mash well, but we have a new genius, the little bear girl that we've seen in the opening. But our new hero that we were introduced to, Miss Shadow, unloads a flurry of kicks and punches and special attacks on this alien, and we are also joined with the awesome attack that is also done by the one and only Wild. I'm gonna keep forgetting the guy's name. The new yokai hero, Wild Boy. Fudomio Boy. We're getting a boy theme going on now. But after that, everyone is basically neuralized, but Ranto, who blocks the neuralization beam from the Mothership. So now we have the YSP Club and Inra Natsuki confused about what they just have done, like the past 10 minutes of time. Well, for the YSP Club, it was the past 20-ish minutes of time. But I do digress, and also, I am right. Guys, we were right the entire time. Whisper is evil. We just got proof. We got legitimate proof that Haruhiku Usumizawa is working for Nayu Kuruhoshi, which is the little alien girl that we saw during the opening cinematic. The little white-haired girl with the little white antennas. Apparently she's voiced by P. Maru-sama, who has done a lot of different things, from what I remember from seeing that name. Also, while I'm on the wiki, okay, how do they not have who Natsuki's voice actress is? Some things you'll never know. But this episode was amazing. We're just going to do a real quick recap. This episode sets up a lot of stuff. We've learned Ranto's past. Ranto has made more facial expressions than Toma made in the entirety of Shadowside. I guess maybe they listened to some of the Western critiques, or maybe some Japanese yokai tubers mentioned that the Toma-style character was expressionless. the YSP Club reacted correctly to the situation, being prepared to fight the invaders. We learned that aliens can exist in the world of Yokai Watch, and they can exist in a way that is not awkward like Yokai Watch 3. And we also learned that yokai and Onryo have differences, which I'm going to be covering in a different video, because I said I was going to cover it earlier this month, maybe this month or in March, but I'm going to aim to have it done next week. We also learned that this world references Kamen Rider, and that your boy here can make 4 or 5 different show, video game, or like anime references in like the same review. So that's good. We also learned that the medals actually hold more of a significant role than what we initially thought because of the metal plate. We also learned that there's probably going to be other Y circles out there, because we got a reference to this during the opening segment with the different pictures. And we also got little Kumo Ike-san's appearance, which a lot of people wanted to know who she was, myself included. And we now have resounding proof that Whisper is either a double agent or is evil. And I still love Whisper. Like, this is the best setup after Yokai Watch 2019 for the Whisper archetype character. Like, you guys are getting what I'm saying. After being part of the reason Nade and Katie, or Keita-san and Fumi-chan, didn't get much development, this is a really positive thing. This episode is a 100 episode in my mind. This entire series has been good. The daikon joke was a little bit funny. Like, if you get the reference to what they were trying to do, it's like the QB reference, like the cucumber QB reference that they were trying to do in Shadowside. It's something funny that you get if you understand the context. All in all, this was really, really fun, and I hope you guys are enjoying this as much as I am. And yet again, I'm going to say it again, I appreciate and love each and every one of you. Thank you for the support. The past 2 months have been kind of insane. We've had a substantial jump in subscribers. I hope this continues, because I want to spread these Yokai Watch reviews as far as we can get them, that we can get as many people into our community as we can. And community is part of the reason why I'm doing this, other than loving the series, because you guys pick up stuff that I don't notice, and it's great. You guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your morning, afternoon, and or evening. I've been Terry with Genkigamingtv. Bye bye for now.